This may shock you, but I was very sporty when I was young and played a lot of basketball growing up. Sure, as I got older that was replaced with hamburgers and couch surfing, but for today's community darling, I want to introduce some of you to Bushrangers Basketball, the first official LGBTIQA plus basketball club to enter basketball comps in Melbourne, Brisbane, Canberra and Auckland. The Bushrangers are about more than just basketball, with their main focus being supporting the inclusion of transgender and gender diverse players on the court. So, how did they handle taking that engagement offline when physical distancing started?
We are more than just basketball, and I think that's what's helped transition from being a sporting club into being a sporting club in lockdown, because the premise of the club is more about community connection. Translating that into us just being in our lounge rooms and connecting with each other has actually been relatively easy, I think. In fact, I think it's brought the club closer together because we've had more time to just chat like we're talking now, whereas you might not have that opportunity when you go out socialising with the club at a pub. It's difficult to have a good old chat and get to know somebody, but you're forced to when you're stuck in your lounge room and you have nothing else to do than to find out what Debbie's favourite movie is.
No disrespect to Debbie's favourite movie, but one of the great things that the Bushrangers did while in lockdown was start posting videos to keep up teammate skills and keep them active while isolating that helped take the place of their regular weekly come out and play training sessions at Carlton Baths.
Okay, so for all you mum bushies or babysitter bushies, if you need to keep your kids occupied while you do your training, this is the perfect activity you can give them.
Skills and drills sessions were just a way to keep people connected and for people to keep their skills up that are new to basketball, and also a way to keep people busy. So the contributors to the videos have been people from within the club, and so filming a little video takes time, it's fun, and you can have a bit of a laugh. So it's more about just staying busy rather than, we're not about performance at Bushrangers. We don't care if we win.
Don't care about winning? But why play sport at all, I hear you say? Well, put a pin in it, because we'll come back to that in just a moment.
So it's more about staying busy and having a bit of a laugh.
One of the reasons why I think Bushrangers are truly amazing at creating an inclusive space for LGBTIQA plus people is because they don't put the community before the competition. Now, I can't stress this enough. I am not trying to be shady towards any other sporting group or organisation that have powered through breaking down barriers and creating strong inclusion policies and practices for our communities in their games, teams or competitions, because that work is so very important and continues to be. But every time I hear about the Bushrangers not caring about winning ahead of inclusion, for me, it's a slam dunk every single time, because it's more than just words. And it's backed up by how the club do what they do on and off the court.
So we do things differently at Bushrangers, and we've seen that the other clubs out there that are amazing, that have been around for a long time, that there is a ceiling to what they do. And we didn't want to take a piecemeal, tokenistic approach, not suggesting that the other clubs are. We wanted it to be a living, breathing entity that actually helped people understand LGBTI QA plus inclusion from within the community and outside the community. Yeah. And I think that's why we've had an uptick with allies joining the club, because they want to learn more. They want to be better allies. I want to be a better ally to the trans community. So I think that's where our point of difference is. We're not necessarily better, we're just different. When I'm looking at other clubs, there's things that I see if I'm wanting to join that are little indicators to me that, oh, maybe that's not the place that I want to be at. One of which is, if the acronym is GLBTI, I think, ooh, that's probably not my space, because the focus might not necessarily be as inclusive as they want to be. With that in mind, when we thought about making our club an inclusive space where people that were trans or gender diverse felt welcome, we focused really heavily on having strong consultation with Transgender Vic and having really strong governance around what it meant for someone that was trans coming into the club and how they would feel protected. Not looking at it from a punitive sense of, you can't do this and you can't say this to a transgender person, but think of it as an inclusion piece, which was, what does it mean if you were trans and coming to the club? How do I fit? How is this club actively working to make me feel safe?
The diversity of the Bushrangers community really shines through when you look at their presence on and off social media. And Stella recently received Basketball Victoria's Fair Play Award, which sums up what Bushrangers is all about. Even though Stella's name was on the award, the true honour goes to the Bushrangers, because without all of them, this wouldn't be possible.
I felt really awkward about it. As much as I appreciated the award, it felt awkward because I am not the club. The club is made up of such a diverse range of people that all contribute equally, that I don't want to be Bushrangers. I want Bushrangers to be its own living, breathing entity of inclusion. The club is so many people putting in effort every single day, and they do it because they love it, and it's amazing. And I couldn't ask for a better club to be a part of. It's exciting.
Before lockdown, the Bushrangers had a huge response to their Sunday night Collingwood competition, so they decided to add in another team on Thursday nights over at a comp in the West. And when the season restarts and physical distancing is lifted, you can go along and have a play as well. If you want to come out and play and learn more about Bushrangers basketball and dunk hard homophobia and transphobia, you can find out more about them via their website at bushrangersbasketball.com.